wanted to share with you a process I'm currently involved in. I was already mid-process, but I wanted to take time and capture and share it. And that is, I'm doing a restoration on a vintage Fender Tremolux head unit, actually number 8 in production. And this amp collector wants to retain as much of the vintage look and even components as we can. So in this case, as you can see by the leakage evidence on the cardboard of these Astron MitiMites, that they have leaked. And obviously I took great care in testing the original ones with a good ESR meter with Kelvin clips. And in this case, these are what the finished products looks like after restoration. So these actually are Astron enclosures, but they have F&T 16 UF 475 volt capacitors in them. And I'll share how I do that process with you. So these two are finished, but basically what I'll do is I'll take a very small screwdriver and I'll work my way around the perimeter here where the cardboard enclosure is folded over. And once I get under there and get it started, we can roll that up. And once that's rolled up, you can push the aluminum can out of the enclosure. So I have, this is one that I have already removed the can from. You can kind of see what that looks like after it's rolled up. So I go around the perimeter here, loosen this up, and then that can pushes out. Once the can is pushed out, it basically will look like this. Now this one's already been cut, but it'll basically look like this. So the first thing I'll do is I carefully I take a bandsaw and I will cut this can in half through the bandsaw. What you can't see, because I've already cleaned these out for the most part, is the insides of these have a very dense wrapping of the original aluminum with the electrolyte between it, each of those layers. And it's a bit of a messy job and it's kind of stinky. I wear gloves and remove all of the old guts. And as you can see, these also have two very small holes drilled in each end. What I do to accomplish that, and this is essential, I buy an adapter for my drill press. This one can accommodate down to a 0.3 millimeter drill bit. So when you're working with really small drill bits, this is really handy to have. And then the control of the drill press and being able to clamp these in place for stability will help you keep from breaking them. Not that I haven't broken a few doing this, but anyways, you can see if you look closely the very small hole that I've put in the end of this. So this is happens to be an F&T 16 microfarad 475 volt cap, and this just happens to fit really just perfectly inside this can. So I'm going to push the leads through, minding the polarity and what that looked like, and here's what you'll end up with. And once I align that, you can see that the gap left there is about the blade width of my bandsaw, so it's just perfect. So then what I'll do, once this is all cleaned and I've got it set, again, minding the polarity, so the positive end is going to go in first on this one. Minding the polarity, I'll push this in. Once it's in, then I carefully fold over this edge. And once that edge is folded back over, this is one where you can see what that finished fold looks like. You can kind of hardly tell. It looks really good inside and out compared to its original state. Now, as you do that, because it's cardboard, some of the color and stuff will flake a little bit as you're doing it. So what I do is I take a Q-tip and I dip it in some Zinsser amber shellac, and I'll just touch up around the perimeter. Happens to be kind of a perfect color to do that. So there's different size Astron MitiMites, as you know, if you're familiar inside the amps. So that's my process, and these two are finished. I'm going to go on and finish the work. Point out something here. This one's interesting because this is one that has one cathode and two anodes. So it's a dual capacitor. So inside, I've got two mod capacitors, and I've already joined the cathode. So, and on this case, we put two holes in that side and one on this side. But this is one, we'll do the same thing for this one. So once it's done, it'll look original. So hope this is helpful for those of you wanting to maintain as much of a vintage look as you can if you're restoring an amp and you happen to be recapping one with these Astron MitiMites. Anyways, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me and I'll be glad to follow up with you. Thank you.